not too much on my watch list. This can be because of the dollar weakness. Usually I will have a dollar strength bias, but it looks like they're not playing out as what I would forecast to be, and that's why I am not seeing too much setup. But I will go over a few that looks great. I am in Kiwi Yen as well, so I'll go over those. Yeah, nice to see you guys. Hey Silky, hey Mike, hey sorry, I can't pronounce it. Abdot Kabla. Sorry if I say that wrong. So yeah, let's go, guys. Let's go. Let's get started. We'll start with currency first. So let's look at the higher time frame. I originally had always had this dollar strength bias. I talk about this for a lot of weeks now. And by the way, guys, is my chart good? Is my drawing good? Is my sound good? I just want to make sure you guys can all hear me. And my drawing, my chart is all good. Just want to make sure you guys, whoever on live, this is okay. Let me know, and we'll just continue. All good, Sean. Thanks a lot. Thanks, guys. Not get trouble. Hey. All right. So why don't we get started? Let's get started. So dollar index, right? I talk about I have that bullish bias with potential reversal structure and price broke up. I mentioned I want to look for continuation to give me that bias. We did not see that, right? What we see here, if you look down on the lower time frame, what you actually see here is a clear head and shoulder pattern, right? So a clear head and shoulder pattern at the top of the lower time frame push signaling to you or to us that this bullish run may be exhausted, and sure enough, we have this bearish push down. So is this structure no longer valid? Well, let's look at the higher time frame. Higher time frame, I have this kind of a channel, parallel channel or a flag kind of drawing. And it looks like if we just really look at what the price has been doing, we just has been in this bearish move to the downside. And if this is all the correction we need to correct this move, then yeah, I definitely see more bearish move to the downside. And we're approaching to this previous low now. So this is an important part where are we gonna just have this continuation correction? We're just full on going to break through that, or are we gonna just going to go lower and lower and just bounce off of here and start reversing? So I think this is pretty interesting area to watch out for. I'm not certainly going to jump into any dollar trade to sell this. I don't think that's good enough for me to sell. What I would wait for is this kind of key area, this potential double bottom area, right? Potential, because obviously price can just break through it. But we as price action trader, we want to wait for confirmation, right? So if this is going to be an area where we need to watch out for, either let the price just completely breaks out and then for more continuation, and I'll certainly get into this. I think that's a no-brainer to get in on a sell on a dollar weakness if that's going to continue. Or if it's going to move down kind of correctively, moving down, even if it just breaks below the low, but no continuation. Remember, when we break some times when we not an automatic sell or buy, right? It's about how the price behave. If there's no continuation to go down, instead what we're seeing is just a more corrective reversal price action, then expect this to reverse. Okay, so this is an area where I would keep a very close eye on, right? I don't rush this. I don't need to guess either, right? If we just zoom out here on dollar index, we're so close to this previous low, anything can happen, right? If we understand price action, we understand how the market moves. We don't want to get trapped into selling this. Rather, wait for the price to come to you if you're looking for further dollar weakness, or you're looking for dollar reversal, right? And I think both of them are correct. There's no right and wrong, as I always say. It's about what you look for, right? So be patient here, right? It's close to this low now. So even if you get in on the sell, you're really not missing out too much profit, in my opinion, right? What you want to do is you want to enter at a safer entry, better risk reward entry, and you don't want to get tagged out for these positions. Okay, so that is what I see. That is what I see on dollar index. Okay, so any question on these guys? My thoughts on Nasdaq and S&P. I will go over those. I will go over those. So bear with me. So let me answer this really quick. Cardano on Coinbase, by the way. Coinbase is what I use Cardano on. So that's what I see on dollar index, guys. So that's why there's not too much dollar pairs. That's kind of on my watch list. Okay. You can see a lot of dollar pairs are forming similars, right? This is Aussie this impulse up, and I kind of redrew all my structures and stuff because I see this as a potential continuation now. Very similar like dollar index. If you notice, it's a kind of a flag, kind of a channel structure. But I wouldn't just jump into something like this. I want to wait for a little bit more development. Because lower time frame wise, oh, this is not yet confirmed. I'd rather wait for a breakout, preferably break above previous high, continuation correction to get in. That would make me have a good bias for a potential long. But for now, nothing yet, right? Because it's the same approach as the dollar index. I don't want it to jump in here yet. I think there's pretty close to this next high now. I don't want to just trade through this high. If we're going to fall and get into a dollar weakness, and most of the dollar will pretty much show you this. If we just break through that previous high, this is previous double top, M style pattern before the drop. If we just break through that and followed by continuation, I think that's going to be a better trade. And again, I'm not worried about missing, maybe a couple hundred pips here, but I want to get in on a good potential buy, a long-term buy approach, right? If this is going to be the one that's going to take off after, then okay, you'll notice I don't take too many trades because my approach is that simple, right? I'm looking for higher probability trades. I'm not worried about small profit. I'm more getting in on a better price action for the buy. Okay, so see you, Orlando. Nice to see you. Do we need to wait for tomorrow's news on US regarding the dollar? I don't even know what news are you mentioning. I don't really pay attention to the news, by the way. Like, is what news is there more? There's no more US news, or am I missing something here? I don't see any more US news later through the week. But even if there is news, personally, I really don't pay attention to news. At least the way how I trade, I don't really need to. News creates volatility, sure, right? But it doesn't predict directions, right? So, anyways, that is Aussie dollar. We can take a look at euro dollar. It's no longer on my watch list because I haven't seen what I want to see. Remember, I was looking at it as more bearish, right? Bearish kind of price action to continue. You can see that this is how the market traps people. We have this breakout, and someone asked me if this is a correction I will get in. I personally said no. I think that's too small of a correction and looks more of a descending structure rather than a continuation. Sure enough, this drops down, kind of probably catching some traders here, and then reverse back up. So taking out a lot of traders, and that's why I'm not really interested anymore. I was interested if it forms some sort of structure like this, and then to continue, I would be interesting. But this bullish surge to the upside doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. It looks like when I reversal impulse up, um, that shows me that there's a strong bullish surge, right? There's not even a reversal correction here. You can see it's just a impulse followed by a reversal impulse. If there's a continuation here and it takes off, this works out a lot of like going to back testing. We talk about how often price does this. Usually if the price is going to reverse, it's going to drop down, form some sort of reversal correction, and then pushes price back up. When you don't even see that, when you just see a surge to the upside, usually indicates the bullish strength is so powerful that we might just continue that way. I will keep an eye on this though. I want to still see what will happen here. If you look at the higher time frame here, sure enough, this is kind of a rejection of this bottom of the structure. And some people draw the structure like this and ask me if this potentially can be a flag. Possible, right? Possible. Nothing is wrong in that sense, but if you're looking at this as a bullish impulse followed by a correction, then I would just wait for the same approach as Aussie dollar or Kiwi dollar. Aussie dollar or dollar index is wait for the breakout and continue, right? If I don't see that, then if the price is still contained in this correction, then I'm still holding a bias for a potential sell. But if the price doesn't develop into that, then I'll just be more on the sideline. Right? I will just be more on the sideline waiting for a little bit more development here. Okay, so that is my approach on euro dollar. All good, all good. Hey, how's it going, guys? So that is what I see on euro dollar. I don't really see much other dollar. I'm gonna talk about pound dollar because someone always asks me about pound dollar, and it's the same, right? We're just still corrective in this sense. There is really no buy and sell, and this is what I try to emphasize. Everyone is a lot of traders get caught. I mean, since here, a lot of traders just get caught here, and I don't know why. Even though every stream I kind of talk about pound dollar, I kind of give my best advice phrase, and I still get messages from um, people from Telegram asking me they got stuck in pound dollar, they take a loss here, and then they're showing me the same thing, right? They look for a sell, they look for a sell, they look for a sell, and the sells are not breaking out of the structure, right? The sells corrective. So I mentioned don't get stuck in the consolidation phrase, right? You want to be in the impulsive phrase. So save your capital, right? You don't need to speculate here. You don't need to be like remove your ego from the place, right? A lot of people have ego. They're like, oh, I want to enter the sell. I want to enter the sell. I want to prove he's wrong. Well, the market doesn't care if you enter or not enter here, right? The market is going to move whatever it wants to do. So by you trying to prove the market is wrong, it is not going anywhere. Okay, so understand that, right? Psychological mindset in trading. So don't get stuck in the consolidation phrase. Wait for the clear breakout if that's what you're looking for, and look for clear correction, right? This is just going to be a way better setup than trying to call a top tier and try to sell from like this point. Okay, and I really hope that passes on to some of you guys because I've been talking about this pretty much every stream, and I still get people telling me about how they lost money in pound dollar because they're trying to sell. Okay, there's just really no sell setups here. This is a corrective price action. This is consolidation. There's no question about it. Yes, and it's in ascending kind of formation, so eventually reversal, but is it ready? Is it ready today, tomorrow, next week? Who would know, right? We wouldn't know because a correction can go on indefinitely. The correction has started since then and start going up and up and up further, right? So we understand that is what it is. So remove the ego, remove your emotion. That's going to help you to be consistent. All right. So hope that helps some of you guys there. Let's move on to a couple other ones. I don't see much dollar pairs on my watch list anymore. Remember, dollar yen was on my watch list for a potential buy. We pushed the upside. We kind of had this double top rejection, and then there was some news from the NFP. We formed a head and shoulder. We dropped down for continuation. So I exit my trade for about 0.5% or so. I'll update that on my weekly trade recap video. Other than that, I really don't see much dollar pairs are doing well, to be honest. Um, More likely we're seeing more continuation now, right? So same thing with dollar Singapore dollar. I was talking about all this time for a potential buy. We just don't see that breakout from the price and continue. We're not seeing that, right? Instead, price falls into a more deeper, and if you look at the higher time frame, it looks straight up like a potential continuation flag here to continue. Okay, that's kind of what I see here. And that's why I want to point out is that when you have a bias, right? When you have a bias, you look for a potential confirmation. And if those, you don't need to be married to your trades, right? You can be wrong on the forecast as long as you didn't take the trade because the confirmation didn't happen, then you save your capital. And then you move on to either other pairs to look at, or you re-look at the pair and you understand, okay, well, instead of a reversal correction to push the price up, price instead it's forming a continuation now for further downside. So acknowledge that, right? Don't have ego to always be right. It's fine to be wrong, while you adjust to your management, you adjust to your plan, and adjust what the market is doing. Okay, so remove the emotion, guys. That's going to help you in the long run. Okay, so moving on to Aussie CAD. Bitcoin analysis. I will go over that after I finish all the currency one. Not too much here, guys, on my right, so I'll be done pretty quick. But let's continue Aussie CAD here. So Aussie CAD here, we talk about, again, same thing, right? You're seeing a surge to the upside and potentially we're forming continuation. And before I was looking at this as a double top where we could be potentially looking for reversal, but as the price continue to develop, you just have to broke this double top. If you see this as an impulsive move to the upside, this can be a continuation correction. All right, we're seeing a potential inverse head and shoulder as well. So same approach as Aussie dollar, right? I want to see price continue to evolve this previous that's going to do and form continuation to go. Right, we're at an area where we broke a previous high, which is great, right? If it forms continuation, which looks like it's going to, then a continuation to the upside is very promising, right? We recover all this price already. You're seeing this as a very good surge to the upside, and this can be that continuation correction to go. Okay, so that's Aussie CAD. I want to go over Aussie Swiss because it can be both way right now, and I want to emphasize this a little bit. We're seeing that same surge to the upside, right? Same kind of correctional structure here. But on the lower time frame here, I drew it a little bit differently because this to me, it looks like an ascending structure like this. And even though on the higher time frame, you see a potential continuation flag, something like this that you would have drawn, but this move to the upside is rather corrective. We're kind of just hitting this top, double top, triple top, whatever you see, but it's a area where price isn't breaking up for. And lower time frame, if you dig a little bit deeper, there is a head and shoulder pattern here as well. Okay, so this is one of that where it can really go both ways, and I think with the current price action like this, it's best to I would wait for a little bit more confirmation breakdown and then confirmation correction, right? That is how the price move is. It's going to move down lower. Okay, because understand what the higher time frame is. We have a long impulse correction, looks like another impulse up, and then small continuation. This can continue, right? The time frame bias. But if on the lower time frame you have a different bias, because that's what the price action is telling us, it's best not to jump into these, right? It's best to wait for a little bit more development. This is why I emphasize multi-time frame analysis. Higher time frame looks like a bullish continuation, but the time frame looks like it's a reversal. So when do you judge which analysis to follow, right? Because it's contradicting itself a little bit. So it's best to wait a little bit longer or best to jump into other positions where it gives you a much more clear bias, both higher time frame and lower time frame. Okay, so I hope that answers some of you guys' question. Hey, Global Market Signal, how's it going? Yo, yo. So let's continue. Let's continue. I want to talk about a few yen pairs because I do see some potential on them. So look at Aussie yen here. Just made these posts. I'll delete this. So looking at Aussie yen here, higher time frame wise, this expanding structure that price has been in. And this latest bit of the price is rather important because we have a first ascending structure pushing up and push down. Remember, I got in a couple of trades here, all resulted to break even. And we see this bit of the consolidation before we move to this top here. So we're forming a reason double top and potentially an M style pattern in the making. And looking deeper here, what the latest price action doing here is that we're actually forming another M style pattern, ascending structure, larger ascending structure. So a lot of confluence adding up here and looking for a potential breakout followed by a continuation correction to go. Okay, so I don't think it's ready yet. I think this is where it's going to be consolidated a little bit. I would wait for a clear breakout and a clear correction to go. Okay, so that is what I see on Aussie yen. Definitely see further downside if we get a completion of this correction and completion of this M style structure to the low. Okay, and it's going to be the same as Kiwi yen. Kiwi yen is actually a trade I'm in, so I'll update that in Telegram. Kiwi yen looks a lot cleaner to me than other yens at the time. If we look at just the higher time frame here, this is the potential top that price is breaking above. And remember, I talk about for a double top, it doesn't matter if the price breaks above it or barely touches it. It's about how the price on the lower time frame is doing. So to me, on the lower time frame here, this piece or this latest bit of price action is not impulsive. It's actually very corrective. So I have a reasonably believe that from the double top here, price is moving correctively to the upside, and then this latest bit of the price is giving me a potential that we have and another ascending channel. So pretty much it's the same from a higher time frame double top ascending channel, and then lower time frame double top ascending channel as well. So again, multi-time frame analysis, and this latest bit of the price, I do see a head and shoulder pattern as well. So looking for a short to at least the lows here. If not, we continue all the way to the beginning of this correction here. Okay, so that's what I see on Kiwi yen. I got in Kiwi, I think in the morning. I forgot when it was, but I just set an entry order somewhere here, and that's how I got taken. And just waiting for see what will happen, right? Because I'm in Kiwi yen already, so I won't jump into Aussie yen or other yen pairs until this first yen is at least in profit or in break even, and then I'll consider other yen pairs. That's just how I manage or risk manage my trades and positions and things like that. Okay. So let's continue, guys. Couple other ones I want to go over. Some of you guys asked me about euro pound, so I'll give you guys what I think about euro pound. Higher time frame wise, we talk about the overall expanding structure the price is in, and this latest bit of the price we do have kind of a breakout, right? So if we look at this as an impulsive phrase, correction phrase, we're looking breaking out. Gives me concern is this latest bit of the breakout, right? Sure, it's breaking out, but what is it doing? It looks like it's clearly forming a kind of a descending structure, right? So we know these descending channels are very likely to be reversal, and we're seeing this from where it is, and we're getting very close to this low. So I want to be careful here. I'm definitely not looking for short. If anything, I'm probably be looking for a reversal, looking for price to continue correct itself down to this low, right? And then looking for a possible reversal to the upside, right? Because of how the price has been forming in this last bit of the price, it gives me at least a bias that this is a potential reversal structure, and we could potentially see a bullish surge to the upside. Right, so not yet ready yet. It's still a little bit room down to this low. It's very similar like dollar index, right? We talk about dollar index. I'm just waiting to see what price will do when it reach the low. If it start correcting down like this, then kind of the same approach as what I mentioned on euro pound, right? Okay, last two I want to touch base on is Kiwi CAD and Kiwi Swiss. So let's talk about Kiwi CAD first. Kiwi CAD, on the higher time frame, I clearly see this as a potential head and shoulder pattern. So a head and shoulder pattern here in the making. This potentially is a right shoulder, and if we look closely, there's a more head and shoulder within this right shoulder. So all these are a good development of the price, but I don't think they're ready yet. Again, it's about can we break this previous low and then continue downwards. We can continue downwards to this bottom, the previous low. I think that's ideal. You can see there is a few setups back in the from the past when we formed this ascending channel. I think I got into this sell and this sell here. This sell was a loss for me if I recall, but I did bank some profit here. It's the third time price has managed to push up and then form this kind of reversal structure, right? So I would wait for a little bit of development. I would want to see what happens here at the very bottom. If we can just break out of here, right? It looks like we're potentially breaking out now, followed by continuation. Look for the first low as a target and continue down to the next low. That's my approach on it. But again, anything can happen within this right shoulder. Originally, I had a structure drill like this, right? As a more of a ascending structure. There you can see that price break that ascending structure, but was there continuation? This is why I emphasize all the time is when price breaks on trend lines or breaks on structures, don't automatically jump in on the sell, right? In that sense, you want to wait for a continuation correction to push the price down, which is not happening in this case. And you understood that the structure is just evolving into potentially a larger structure, but it's not wrong, or it's not, the bias is still there, right? The bias is still there because structures, we're just looking for a completion of the structure and then continue lower. All right, so that's Kiwi CAD for me. Last one I want to touch base on is Kiwi Swiss. Do you want to touch base on Kiwi Swiss? Does the Brent oil price influence the fuel price? In some way, right? Because the fuel price is per barrel, right? So obviously, if your oil price goes up from Brent or WTI, then your price of your natural fuel that you get from gas station also goes up as well, right? So Kiwi Swiss, I want to talk about this really quick because I was deciding either to short Kiwi Yen or Kiwi Swiss. I decided with Kiwi Yen, but this was going to be my entry to sell anyways. But I just decided with Kiwi Yen. But that sometimes happen, right? You're going to have to choose among a few of the same positions, same pair I meant. So Kiwi Swiss and Kiwi Yen were both on my watch list, and I just decided with Kiwi Yen had a little bit better price action. I went Kiwi Yen. But that sometimes happens, right? So I don't dwell about it. But my approach at the time with Kiwi Swiss was we are seeing this larger kind of a parallel channel structure, correcting the price up once again. And we see this M style pattern. We talk about this in my video. So M style pattern on the right of the M, we form this ascending channel correction, pushing the price up. And right away, I was looking for a continuation correction. Just choose Kiwi Yen instead. But I would have gone into this trade looking for a sell stop here and just put the stop loss to this and looking for a sell. So I still reasonably believe that this can continue. If this certainly is going to go down further, and if we get a completion of this structure here, this will be nice. We just break all of the structure here and form continuation to the low. That's kind of how I would get back in if that happens. And if Kiwi Yen still going down, move my stop loss to break even or be percentage in profit, and then I could get in onto other Kiwi Yen positions. Right, we're potentially seeing a head and shoulder here as well. Okay, so that's Kiwi Swiss. I do see a lot of potential on this. If we zoom out here a little bit, we're at this previous top area right now, right? Where the previous top where price is potentially correcting. We're in this area now, which is good. This is what happened when we have the previous ascending channel, first impulse down, first continuation correction, and then we have the COVID drop. Same thing can happen here. Right? We're developing this ascending channel, similar idea. We can just break down, followed by a deeper correction, and we just start going afterwards. Okay, so Kiwi pairs wise, at least I do see some potential on them. Kiwi Sis, Kiwi Cat, Kiwi Yen as well. Okay. So any question, guys, on any of the currency pairs? Any question on there or any other pairs before I move on to other markets? Ox. Do you mean Ox like Ox USD or what? I just want to make sure I see that right. Or what is Ox? Like, just give me the symbol if that's possible. What did you call that pattern on Kiwi Swiss? If you're talking about the largest, this is just a parallel channel to me structure. Inside here is an AM style pattern like this. I made a video of this on TradingView. You can take a look at this, how I look at AM style pattern for reversals. Yeah, so smaller one, AM style pattern, smaller one, ascending channel, continuation correction, like a pennant. So all these are, I made several videos on these, so you can take a look at my profile, you can search them. I try to do as much price action videos as I can. So global market signal, thanks a lot, you FX wizard. YouTube buddy, I watch a lot of your streams as well, by the way. So those of you guys who watch streams, global market signals does streams a lot, so make sure you watch his as well. ZRX, yeah, okay. So that's it for currency, guys. No other question on currency pairs. Aussie year, I don't really look at exotic pairs. Sorry, I don't really pay attention to them, to be honest. I do have a recently doubt that this is looking good because we have an impulsive phrase, correction phrase. We push down once more, and then sharp move to the upside, right? So this kind of leads into a strong bullish push to the upside. And then on the lower time frame, it looks like we're forming more correction to go, right? So if this is a surge to the upside, this can be a correction. And then I would still prefer if we break this previous high though, and then continue. I think that's going to be safer here, okay? I don't really take a look at the exotic history, or I don't really look into it. You got that global? They were disappointed you didn't stream this morning. Usually he does, right? So okay, so let's look at I know some of you guys are looking at gold and silver, so I'll give my approach on them once again. Again, I'm not looking to buy and sell at this moment. I don't think they're ready yet, in my opinion, but I will look for something when they develop a little bit further, okay? So let's look at gold here. My approach on gold is the same. It's not really going to change for a while unless I see something dramatically different. But my approach is the same because we're still seeing the overall market as bullish. I still see this as a continuation correction. This can go on forever or for a while. Okay, until I see the structure or until I see the price either break below it or break above it, I still have a strong bias for the for the buy. Sorry. Okay, so what we see here in this latest bit of the price, well, two scenarios can happen, right? I see this as a potential continuation. This is a bearish move to the downside. This looks like it's forming a continuation expanding structure. If we reach to this high here, expect short lows, and then I'll kind of reevaluate to see what the price will do near the bottom of the structure or bottom of this double bottom here, and if there is going to be bullish reversal price action. Okay, that is my approach on this. I'm not interested in the sell. I'm in the short-term sells. I know they likely to happen. I would want them to happen as well, so I can be buying from the bottom here. Um, it's just that in my management plan, I'm not interested in these short-term sales. Okay, um, it's just my plan. Doesn't mean it's wrong, right? If you have a trading plan, you're looking for a short-term continuation. There's nothing wrong with that, right? It's just when I have a higher time frame bias for a potential long, and if the lower time frame is showing me a sell, I don't try to take these sells because it's going against the higher time frame. All right, that's just my management approach. Okay, this again, if you have a, a short-term bias for the sell and you want to get in on it, go ahead by all means, right? But for me personally, I'm looking for a long-term approach. I want the multi-time frame analysis work in my favor rather than against it. So I want to wait for this higher time frame completion of the structure, and I'm looking for further upside. So short-term wise, if they start dropping like this to the lows here, really not interesting in the buy. I mean, not interested in the short-term sell, but I will be interested for the long-term buy. All right, so that's my approach on it. Okay, so expect this to push down, which I would be gladly to see, and then look for bullish reversal price action to come. Okay, any question on these guys before I jump into other things? So let's look at silver. So silver is pretty much same approach. If we zoom out here, I talk about silver for a little bit while. Dogecoin, I'll talk about that after. Silver. So we have all this price action. We have been this lowest possible point. Remember, price could not break lower than this area here, showing you that that is the lowest I can go. In case you guys don't know, there's cost associated with silver, right? I always believe these commodities, they cannot go any lower because it has to make sense for them to produce, right? You look at previous price action, you look at how previous price action price cannot break below this $9 or $8 range before the surge of silver. Okay, so same idea here, right? We declined all this price, but this latest bit of consolidation for the last, 5, 6 years has been somewhat bullish, right? We have a and bullish surge, correction, and bullish surge to the upside. So if this forms some sort of higher time frame correction, we don't know how long and how deep this will go, but I do reasonably see that this can be a continuation correction for this bullish impulsive phrase. This is a strong bullish impulse. We have not seen something like this for at least 5-10 years, right? So this gives you a good understanding that the price is can be in this full-on bullish trend now. So expect this to continue the price. And again, this is on higher time frame, right? So this is going to take years to happen, right? Expect months or years to happen, but to me, it's looking very promising. I would be getting myself involved if I see a completion of this area and then getting onto the lower time frame to potential buy. Okay, so that is what I see on silver. Any question on these guys before I jump into some cryptos? I know some of you guys are looking at cryptos, so I don't mind jumping onto crypto and take a look. So there was talk about this pretty much a lot of streams back when the price was here, right? I mentioned about Cardano pretty much since mid of January that that was something I will be looking at, right? You understand that we're approaching to that previous high, and how the price gets there and lower time frame is ultimately going to decide how the price. So what I see here on Cardano, we talk about how after this continuation, what I want to see is a break above that previous high area, right? You want to wait for price to break above that previous area and then form continuation correction. This is where the continuation correction get in, right? And this is how I always look for a potential entry, right? This is one of my go-to entry correction after breakout, right? I talk about this in my ebook. This is a surge to the upside, right? Impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. We break above that previous high, look for continuation, right? It's very simple, right? Don't need to guess and speculate when will this break out. Wait for price to break out, wait for price to form continuation, and look for an entry, right? It's very simple. So my management plan, someone asked me this in my Telegram. I said I'm just looking to exit probably around the $1 range. They asked me why. Well, this is my management approach again. We're approaching to this previous high now, right? If we zoom out here, there was a previous high here from the price here around something this. This clearly shows the impulse correction. Range is going to be a lot of those psychological level anyways for people to potentially sell or potentially sell their positions. I'm happy with the overall trade already. I'm not looking for long-term hold like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is something I'm looking to hold long-term, but for a reasonably lower time frame entry, I'm happy with the profit or happy with the result anyway. So I will be looking for further upside, of course, right? If this just breaks that level and there's more continuation, yeah, I don't mind getting back in. But what I don't want to see is reach that point and then just start dropping, right? Missing out 2-3% here as I trade. So I'm happy with the target, with setting a target as well. Just let the try execute my let the price execute my trade, and then move on, right? So management plan super important. Again, I emphasize this in my Telegram when people ask me. I'm trying to provide the vision, right? I'm trying to tell everyone that you don't necessarily have to follow my management plan, right? Because just because I exit at $1 doesn't mean you need to. Some of you guys got in on this as well. So if you don't have to exit it just because I exit it, right? Because what ends up happening a lot of time is what if price continue to shoot up and because you exit your position, you're gonna be in so much emotion, even though you just made all this money, you're gonna be so upset at me or at yourself that I listened to him to exit the trade. So always have your own. You can't be like, oh, I listened to that guy. I listened to that guy. That guy told me to sell their position. And I end up selling here, and this shoots up like a rocket, and then I miss all this profit. Right? You're likely going to blame something. Right? We're human beings. You're going to be emotional when you see that. Oh my God, all this profit I missed. I'm gonna. If you have a trading plan, you have a management plan, and if you exit accordingly, you won't have emotion because that is your plan. You can, of course, modify your plan, right? Change your plan over time as the price continue, and at least you know that you stick to your plan. You try to remove emotion out of your equation. When this happens to you once, after that you're never going back because you throw all your management, your plan out the window right away because you saw what happened. You break some off, you continue make profit, but you sold here. You now hate on your plan or hate on your management because it didn't secure you enough profit. And the next time something like this happens, you're going to want to hold the position long term. And guess what? Next time you do that, prices crash like this and you miss out all this profit. And when that happens, emotion kicks in. You're like, well, I already lost 3-4%. I'm just gonna hold the trade. I'm gonna move it to break even now. Let's just continue all the way down. And all the profit that you just made, you just lose right back to the market. And you're just gonna go through this emotion over and over again in the market in trading, and you're not getting out of that. Okay, so I'm trying to set everyone up. I'm trying experience because obviously this has happened to me before where price reached a target where I didn't exit, and then because someone maybe somewhere says, oh, I'm looking to hold the trade, and I just kind of like, okay, if that guy says he's holding the trade, I'm going to follow him. And what ends up happening is exactly what I just mentioned, right? So when you a bunch of profit, you just lose right back to the profit. You lose all the profit back to the market. It's never going to be the same for you again. Okay, so understand that, right? Understand the emotion side of things. Control it, right? Remove it so you don't get into this again. Okay, so hope that helps some of you guys. So let me see what you guys are saying here. Doge LTC, yeah, I will go over those. Have never saw you do the US ZAR. Yeah, I don't mind jumping back to dollar ZAR, but I'm not really interested. It's the same approach as I was originally looking for a buy, right? You can see I had a few buy setups here, was looking for a buy. But all this latest bit of the price is kind of throwing me off, especially most of the dollar pair is showing that a potential continuation of its bearish move. So I'm not really interested in dollar or dollar ZAR in that sense. Hey, Distinct and Tolio, hopefully I pronounced right. Hey, how's it going? So that is Cardano, guys. Let's continue here. Most of you guys are looking at Bitcoin. To me, it's just no brainer for further upside, right? I don't know what you guys see or what you guys may see from other people's opinion, but I think this is just a full-on bullish trend, right? We've been talking about Bitcoin since it broke that 20,000 level. Look for continuation, right? Look for continuation. After a strong surge to the upside, understand that the market is going to correct, is likely to form a larger correction, trapping a lot of traders in here. A lot of traders are buying here, guaranteed, right? And a lot of traders also lost their position here as well. But once the market fills up all those positions, we're just going to see the next takeoff, right? Someone asked me, do you think is it because Tesla? Well, Tesla certainly helped the fuel, but it was going to happen anyways, right? It's just a matter of time. Tesla announced they bought Bitcoin. It's had a surge, but it was going to do that anyways when we see the nature of the market, right? After impulsive move, correction phrase, impulsive move. Doesn't matter what market, what time frame you're looking at, right? When you truly understand that's how the market moves, you will never see the market the same again because it's just that simple, right? If you look at the market, that is how the market moves. Okay, there's no gimmicks here, right, guys? There's no tricks here. Once you understand the market can only be in an impulsive phrase like this, and the market can only be in a corrective phrase like this, and resume the impulsive phrase. Okay, so I'm just using Bitcoin here as example, but it's anywhere, any market, any time frame, any pair. All right. So what I see on Bitcoin here, well, all this little bit of bearish surge is not throwing me off bit, right? For a continuation buy correction, whether it forms a structure here, a correction, whatever it's going to do, I'm looking for the next buy opportunity. It's that simple. We broke previous all-time high. We broke it impulsively. I'm looking for continuation correction. It's same higher time frame break that all-time high. This was the all-time high, right? When price break the all-time high followed by continuation, we're just getting to a surge of upside. If you look at the higher time frame, this is just another continuation for this move. We're likely to just continue upwards, right? We forget about all the previous price action because we're trading above all-time high now, and we just broke a recent all-time high as well. So expect this to continue. There's really no question about it. All right. So wait for a solid continuation here. Wait for price to come to you, and then look for the next buy opportunities. Okay. What direction is Bitcoin? Just went over that, right? I'm looking for buy, right? So US 30, I will go over those after. Okay, so let me finish up crypto first, and I'll wrap it up with indices at the end. So any question here though on Bitcoin? I think Bitcoin is pretty self-explanatory. So let's go to Dogecoin. A lot of you guys are talking about this. Obviously to do with maybe Elon as well. This is what I see, and I think this is pretty much ready now in that sense. Talk about Doge, high from the surge, right? And price correct itself down, but we still see impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse. Guess what the market is tend to do here after breaking all-time high? It's just likely to make continuation. It's just how the market move. So I mentioned a push down here, pretty much did exactly that. A little bit push up. Let's see if we can break out of the structure and just go on into a full bullish move. What I would look for is a break above this previous high, preferably, and then continuation to go. Right? This looks like it's a continuation correction already. It's always going to form correction, guys. Remember how the market, the nature of the market, how the market moves. Impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse. Right? It's that simple, right? So especially we're breaking above this all-time high. I think this is an important area. Look for this completion of this correction here and look for the next buy opportunity. Okay. Any question here, guys? Any question on this one? I know a lot of people are looking at this, so make sure if you have a question, ask me now. That is what I see on Dogecoin. Okay. So looking for further upside, of course. When can the break happen? Well, you have to wait, right? Because we don't know when the correction will be finished. This can just move down, move up for a definite time, forming a larger correction, potentially trapping a lot of impatient buyers, because a lot of impatient buyers are going to start buying here and pretty much with no stop loss or very tight stop loss. So that can happen as well, right? And that's why I emphasize on waiting for the price to complete whatever correction it's going to do. Wait for the first breakout, wait for the first continuation correction to go. And that's kind of how you're going to save unnecessary losses in this area. Yeah, hey, pound dollar. See, those of you who follow me since the beginning of today's stream, remember everyone always asks me about pound dollar, right? And every session I'm going to talk about pound dollar that I'm not interesting, and a lot of traders lost money, right? So see, I'm going to talk about it again, but I hope to pass on this message is when the price is consolidating in here for such a long time, why try to call the sell? There's really no sell opportunity in my opinion, while the price is still in this larger ascending channel structure. There is really no buy or sell, and but a lot of people are losing money here because they're trying to call the top, right? It's that simple. I don't really care what the price will do here. All I care is when are we going to get that sharp breakout followed by continuation. I'm only looking for sell, and I'm only looking for this. If that does not happen, I'm out of this. I'm not looking for a buy or sell. I'm not looking to get involved in the sideline because I've seen this over and over again where this correction can go on indefinitely. I've been saying that since around this area. I said, well, beginning of December, I've been saying that this correction can drag on for indefinitely. Sure enough, it dragged on for like 2.5 months, right? So same approach, wait for breakout, wait for continuation is the way to go. Otherwise, I'm staying out of this. Stream offline. Am I offline to you guys or no? I'm sorry, guys. Just double checking. Am I still live on the stream or am I offline? Most of you guys are on. Oh, you can see. Thank you, Global. So let's look at Ethereum. I do want to talk about Ethereum a bit. It's the same approach, right? It's the same approach, the same pretty much chart as Bitcoin. If you guys really look at what's happening here, this is a higher time frame now, right? We break the all-time high. This was the previous all-time high. We broke it, and then looks like we're forming some continuation here. If you look at Bitcoin's chart, it's exactly the same. It's just that Bitcoin was much faster, and Ethereum is just catching up to what Bitcoin is doing. So no different no different approach than other crypto is that we break all-time high, which is great. So are we going to get continuation here on a lower time frame? Well, there is some enough, or are we going to get a bigger correction? Really doesn't matter, but what I'm looking for is continuation, right? We have all these lower time frame price action to push the price above that previous high level. So actually price needs to correct itself before the next up move, right? So is this only all the correction we need to going to make, or are we going to form a deeper correction, right? So either way, I'll be waiting for a solid continuation correction to get in. But because we broke the all-time high, because we break it impulsively rather than correctively, I still have a good bias for the continuation here. Life, everything good, 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 good. So good. Good, good, good. Okay. Thanks, guys. So that's Ethereum. Talk about Link briefly. Link is pushing up as well. I didn't like, remember last stream I talked about, I didn't really like this part of the price. If we zoom out here, we broke this high, right? This is, I assume this is the all-time high. I don't have too much data behind, but I assume this is the all-time high that we're breaking. Price continue to push up, right? So this is a clear sign of bullish move. But all this price is a little bit throwing me off because this looks like it can be kind of a long-term ascending structure and they can push back down. And I think there's other cryptos here that look a lot nicer, a lot cleaner in that sense. And I will focus on those a little bit more. But someone else reasonably that this is a initial incline. This is that decline, right? A period of consolidation here. And then we eventually broke that high. So very similar like most of the other cryptos. It's just this move to the upside is a little bit corrective, right? It's not impulse like this. The big difference is when you see a move like this, that's an impulsive phase of the market condition. When you see this, it's more corrective, right? So there's a distinguish between the two. So we have to understand that when we see something like this, we can't choose to avoid it, right? We can't choose to ignore it. Understand that this can lead into a deeper correction before it sell off, and I don't want to get involved in something like this. But other cryptos that I want to talk about does show a lot better, right? For example, Litecoin here, this is a bullish impulse up, and this is a correction, and we're pushing up again, right? So this is much cleaner in terms of price compared to Link that we just went over. So what I see on Litecoin, similar idea here, right? We're approaching this previous high, swing high area. We look like we have that same scoop formation that we've seen across the board. And looks like we have this continuation, right? This is kind of a pennant or triangle, whatever it is, it's a continuation correction for all this bullish price, right? So if you zoom out here a little bit, don't let the lower time frame trap you. Is we have been in this bullish surge to the upside, naturally for the price to correct a little bit deeper and then resuming the bullish trend, which is what happens here. So continuation correction after we break out of this higher time frame correction, looks like we're going to continue to the upside. So why can just successfully break this previous high and then continuation to go. right? Again, the all-time high is much higher, and I think there's a lot of room to the upside to look for a potential continuation of this. Okay, so that's Litecoin. I do see Litecoin here versus Link. I think Litecoin just has a lot better price action this latest bit of the price, whereas something like this is more bullish impulsive trades. My stream pause. I just went over Litecoin, by the way, buddy. Make sure you are reloading the browser, hopefully. I think sometimes TradingView tends to do this on me. It looks like it's a little bit lagging. It's not my internet, I guarantee you guys. I'm in Canada. I have Telus. We have this fiber optic internet thing, right? It's supposed to be the fastest or something. So it can't be me. It's sometimes the software or whatever. So but anyways, let's move on to other cryptos here. I want to talk about Neo. Someone asked me to do an update on Neo. I didn't get into this trade, but I point out that same idea. Right? We have a bullish surge, larger continuation. We break out of the continuation, so looking for a correction, right? Looking for a continuation correction. So whoever messaged me this, you may have got in. I'm not sure where your entry was, but this is a clear bullish surge, right? So we have a lower time frame impulse correction and lower time frame impulse, and we're in line with the higher time frame impulse, higher time frame correction, higher time frame impulse. So this is all good for your end. If you're in this trade and we break this previous high level, if we zoom out here, this was the previous high. Let me see. If we look at here, we're breaking this previous high. We break the previous high impulsively, and now we can potentially get on into the next bullish trend. So I do see a lot of potential on this. If you're in the trade, I certainly really looking to hold the trade. I would look at now and then put the next recent high as a potential target and see what price will do when it reach those areas. Okay, so if you get in, I'm not sure if you got in here or you got in here. I think they're all valid entries anyways. After we break out of this higher time frame structure. Okay, moving on G. So ONG USD is also one I'm looking at. I like how we have a bullish push to upside and then kind of a parallel channel structure, a correction, but we still push out of this correction, which is a good thing, right? So naturally, I will be looking for a continuation on the lower time frame and then continue to the all-time high. Right? Some of you guys may be looking at this. Some of you guys may not. This is not. I don't think this is in every crypto broker or whatever, but I do point out this as well. Refresh page is a solution. Yeah. Came back just for LTC. Great. DOT. Yeah, I'll go over DOT after. I'm wrapping up one more from Stellar and then Ripple. My network is okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. So Stellar is also something I'm looking at. I think that's clean as well. Okay, don't let these candles or spread affect you, right? This is just different broker, right? If you go to different Stellar, it's going to look differently, right? The spread or something is not as bad. But what I want to see here is we have this bullish surge. We had another push to the upside, and then same kind of parallel channel structure that what we see on OMG. And we still have this push up, and there's like a pennant or a triangle, and we continue to push up, right? So this is all good. What I ultimately want to see is this is the previous swing high once again. So I will breaks above it, right? Because all this price is good. It's showing us bullish kind of move, but is this going to break above that previous high, or we might see lower time frame rejection and reversal. But see what most of the crypto world have been doing, see what most of crypto has been done. I do see this can continue breaking above, and let's look for continuation to all-time high, right? And breaking all-time high. Remember, most of these crypto move in different pace. Bitcoin is leading the way because it already break all-time high and just continue to the upside. Ethereum is just breaking all-time high and then continue because they are the older crypto, right? If you look at the newer crypto, they tend to be about halfway through catching up to their all-time high. So this is a good time to understand that you're likely to see most of the crypto do the same, right? You're likely to see most of the crypto do the same because that is how the price moves, Okay, so some are faster and some are slower, but you understand that eventually this kind of price action is going to happen and you're going to get the surge of bullish move and then continue onwards. All right, so that is solid for me. Okay, any question on these ones, guys? Jump. Have a good stream. Thanks a lot, Global Market Signal. Have a good day, buddy. So Ripple, I do want to talk about Ripple a little bit. Seems like a lot of you guys are looking for Ripple. I personally is not. I personally is not because I didn't really. Um, it was looking much better. We have this kind of descending channel, descending structure, and then breakout, correction, breakout. Everything is looking great for continuation. Obviously, you have all that SEC news and all that stuff. Um, I not interesting to be calling a bottom to be buying here. I know some of you guys are like, okay, well, we formed this, we push the upside, reverse, and then they start buying here. That really doesn't fit my plan. I just don't see this kind of market good to be buying. Of course, they can just continue going up, and that is that. But trading is about probability, right, guys? I always emphasize this. You can't just be like, okay, in this example here, it works out. So everything else, every time when I see something like this, I'm gonna buy. Right? You gotta backtest that, right? You gotta look at it from the previous price action, look at different market. Is this a so-called strategy to be buying here, or are you just buying because people are telling you to buy, right? Because different social media stuff that people see. Is this a valid entry that fits your trading plan or fits your management plan, fits your strategy to be buying? If not, then don't look for a buy just because people telling you to buy, right? It's not how it works, right? You need to identify the strategy or identify a style that you trade and stick to it accordingly so that doesn't get to you. Okay, I think that's the best I can explain this is that a lot of newcomers they tend to jump strategy to work out a try strategy B, then work out a try strategy C. But how long are they staying in each strategies? Right? Are they staying in strategy A for a period of time where they have done enough homework, enough backtesting, enough chart work before saying, okay, strategy A doesn't work, I'm gonna jump to strategy B. They usually stay within a month or two. It didn't work out, it didn't have massive profit according to what they think it would be, and then they start jumping away. Now they have to relearn everything again, go through the same process again. And how long do they stay in strategy B? Not long either before they jump into strategy C. So what do you accomplish? Really nothing, right? Because most of the strategy will work if you are patient with it, you understand what you're looking for, what kind of trading plan, your management plan. Most strategy will work, but it's whether that traders stick to it, backtest enough, done enough chart work to make it good for them to do. Most people don't go through that process. They think they can jump from 0 to 100 immediately without putting time and effort, and they usually give up. Not even halfway, maybe just 10, 20% in, and they give up right away. Right? So you understand the process of trading. You understand that is how you do anything in life, right? It's not just in trading. Whatever you do in life, you gotta give that effort and time to make it work. Okay. So back to Ripple, sorry I got sidetracked a little bit, is that someone asked me about a buy here. I really do not see that's a buy. I just don't see how that can fit a plan or strategy. After you see a reversal sharp impulse down, this can just be a corrective price action before the next sell, right? Obviously, there's a chance that this can just start breaking up now, but is that fitting your plan and strategy? If that doesn't, then don't take these kind of setup because it doesn't make sense for you to do that. What if the next season a huge loss, right? If you haven't done enough work to it, don't just listen to someone to buy here. Okay. I feel like I missed all these moves. Do you think these cryptos will continue to be? I do see them, but here's the dangerous part. I'm just using you as example, so don't take it personally. But um, I'm sure a lot of people are in your situation where they're going to miss a lot of these crypto moves. And what that does is it creates emotion in them. Now they think any trade they see now they must should jump in now because they missed them. But that's not how it is, because if you talk about missing trade, then I think, let's be honest, right? If you're talking about missing trades, aren't we all missing trade to buy Bitcoin for $1 here, right? If we really think about it, did we all miss trades here if we start buying Bitcoin here at $1 here, and now it's $44,000, right? So think it's all a mindset and emotion. I'm trying to emphasize this with everyone is you will never, I mean, a trader will never catch all the move in the market. You will never hold the trade at the very bottom and sell at the very high. That's impossible. Okay. Um, there's no strategy that there's no strategy that promises you 100% strike rate, 100% return, blah 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 blah. It doesn't make sense. You have to live with that, right? Trading, you just have to live with that aspect of it. You'll never capture at the lowest point and sell at the highest point. What you do as consistent trader is to consistently get in the market and then look for possibility, look for get out, or looking to hold the trade, and then consistently do that over a period of time. So your account is compounded. So now you taking the same trade now, but compared to you take the trade 5 years ago, while my account capital is much higher now, but my return in percentage is the same, right? So you say someone starting with a smaller account, making 5% on $100 account may not be much, right? Equals to $5 account now, right? You're making the same 5%. I'm making $5,000 now, right? That is the big difference. I'm making the same percentage return, but the value of your capital quantify your returns. Okay, so that is what I'm trying to tell everyone. You're not going to catch most, right? You're going to capture some of it, but it's all about consistently catching them rather than jump into anything you see now because you miss all this profit. So you think next, oh, this is going to take off without me now. So fear of missing out, fear of losing, all that adds up together. You're going to be more emotional, take more trade that you should, and that usually end up causing more trouble. Pretty much, yes. Wait for bullish consolidation pattern, take for the breakout. Yep, is what I think you should do. Any question on crypto, guys? Any question on crypto? Pound dollar. See, this is the third time I hear this, right, guys? Whoever's been with me since the beginning, remember, I'm always going to be referring back to pound dollar, and I'll refer it to again. Most people are going to be looking for pound dollar, and I'm wondering why, right? Because I've been talking about this every stream. This is a consolidation phrase. Why try to look for a sell when this correction isn't finished? You're just going to get trapped in this consolidation phrase, which is what the market has been doing. Right? Most people here are just getting trapped in this zone here, right? The cells are not going down, guys. Why trying to jump into these cells, right? I think the most sell people trying to do is here. I got at least 3 or 4 messages telling me that they took a loss here. And I was just a little bit bizarre saying, well, especially those who have been with me since in my Telegram or in my YouTube, I've been talking about that, right? And I'm like, hey, I remember you've been following me for a while, so I've been talking about don't get into pound dollar. So why do you still get in? And really, they're just honest about, oh, I think this is the one that's going to drop, and I don't want to miss it. So trading psychology 101, right? Fear of missing out, right? Your fear that this is going to drop and you're not going to catch it. The market catch and move, right? So don't fall into this FOMO. Okay, I'm gonna leave this FOMO here. I expect before the end of this stream, someone is gonna ask me about pound dollar again, so I'm gonna leave a FOMO here just for that. Okay, wait for the breakout, wait for continuation. It's that simple. Don't worry about missing. Think about the profit you'll make here, right? Hey Benjamin, what coins do you see consolidating? Well, quite a bit of them, I guess. I think them has a good chance to consolidate. I think Cardano is pushing up, but is it likely to continue push up without continuation? There was a few correction in the weight already, right? There's a correction here. There's a correction here. There is a correction here. So I'm assuming you didn't catch these, but there's more opportunities. Right? I think Bitcoin is definitely going to consolidate a little bit longer. So if you haven't gone to Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin would be nice. Just wait for what it will do here, right? Wait for the price to come down and then continue to the upside. Look for a continuation correction. Doge is certainly one, right? I think everyone's been talking about Doge. So Doge is on the verge of completing this correction here. So this is a continuation correction. We've been pushing up like this already. So wait for a correction to complete here and take off. So Ethereum also, Ethereum looking great because we broke all-time high. So wait for a consolidation here. Litecoin as well, right? We already had this correction. So this was already a correction to get in. We're approaching to this previous correction to go. Neo, same thing, right? Someone got in on this buy or this buy. I forgot where it is, or I don't know if he told me, but this is a impulsive trade, so look for continuation. Seller, same thing, continuation to get in. Now is just waiting for price to break out and continue afterwards. So that is a few that I see that has the most promising potential. All right, so Binance future trading, you mean Binance broker, right? I don't use Binance, I use Coinbase and BitBuy. Um, do your own research on the brokers. I'm not here to promote brokers, so make sure if you choose a broker, make sure you a lot about and you don't just listen to other people because you understand there's this introduction broker things that people do, right? It's called IB or whatever people call it. The whole point is whoever suggests you to use a broker and give you a link, they're making money off you. So I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm just being very honest with people, with you guys. If someone mentioned a broker that you have never heard of, but they tell you that you can get all this goodies and things like that, understanding what IB is, okay? They introduce you to a broker so that when you join their broker, when you deposit, they make money off you, okay? And then if you lose, obviously this varies brokers to brokers, and it's only an inside story. Is when you lose your account, the person who introduced you gets a portion of it as well. Of course, all these rules, regulation, different from different brokers, but understand at the end of the day, choose a broker that's going to fit you. Okay, we do enough research so that it's going to be better for you, your country, and how you trade. Right? Don't just blindly join a broker because someone telling you you get this referral back or money back or whatever. Okay, so I think the top ones out there in terms of broker, don't call me on this. I'm not introducing any brokers. I'm not doing none of that crap. I use Coinbase. I use BitBuy. That's in Canada. I know Binance is good. Crypto is good as well. So those are top ones that you can look into. Okay. Last, I want to finish up with all the indices. I think some of you guys asked me about the indices as well. So let's take a look at them and we'll wrap things up. So most so Dow Jones, we talk about again, price is corrective, right? Price is in this ascending corrective structure, but we are seeing some lower time frame movement. Because when you see these ascending channels, right, they're usually going to give you only one thing, which is a reversal. Time frame ascending channel, medium size ascending channel, larger ascending channels. What is it all telling you? Multi-time frame analysis, right? Looking for that potential sell, just as happened in the past, right? The history, the past, the price action, it doesn't lie, right? When you done enough back, you're going to see them everywhere in the market. And for those who haven't done enough backtesting, that's when they start questioning their strategy or questioning the market. But if you've done enough work, guys, this is what I always emphasize. You need to put in work and effort into trading. When you've done enough of that, e-trading, you'll see the charts much, much clearly, and it's going to be less stressful actually. So my approach on all these US indices is the same. right? We're in this larger period of consolidation. There is some lower time frame move, but I would prefer more bearish confirmation. You can see this previous move down, it literally just broke all of the trend line and no continuation. Instead, what happens is it just reverts back up, right? So that is what the price does to trap a lot of people. So same approach, whatever price does in this area, I'm really not too interesting. I would be interesting if we confirm breakout followed by a continuation. I don't mind not making profit here, but I will get in on the profit here. Okay, it's that simple. You have a plan, you stick to it. It's that simple, guys. You remove the emotion out of your equation, and things will be much, much smooth. S&P 500, same thing, ascending channel pushing the price up. You have this lower time frame kind of ascending channel as well. Looks like we're going to break out now. I do reasonably think we can see a double top here. Same thing as Dow Jones, it's the same, right? We're looking at this as a double top. So if it's within your management, if it's within your plan to take an entry here down to the low, then go ahead, so be it, right? If that's your plan. If it's not, then wait for price to break out and wait for price to continue. That's the better risk reward trade. That's going to be a safer entry. To understand it's not that if you enter here it won't work out. Sure it will, right? If this is going to be the next move that works up to break out, then entering at the top is going to give you maximized risk reward. But you also understand that it's going to be the riskiest trade because nothing is confirmed yet. But if you get a complete, then your entry here would be much safer. So NASDAQ, same idea, right? Ascending channel, double top, smaller ascending channel, look for breakout, look for control. If you're looking for entry here, like I said, it's not wrong, right? Understand you might get tagged out a few times before the market drops, so you just have to be aware of that, right? You don't want to be taking trades here. Maybe you took 2 or 3 losses and then you got fed up with it. You kind of turn your head away. And when you come back, price is all the way down here and you miss the entry here or whatever. Okay, so if you go and take trades here, understand that you're likely to take some losses, but if you manage to capture one of them, all your losses will be gained back from one trade alone, as long as that fits your plan. But if it doesn't, then you don't need to guess in here, right? Look for the breakout, look for continuation. Safer entry, less risk entry, and you don't need to speculate too much in this sense. Okay, so dollar yen. Went over dollar yen in the beginning, not too interesting because originally I had this buy. If you guys recall, I bought here and then price couldn't break above this previous high. There was a some NFP news that the US news happened. It was not good for dollar. It dropped and continuation. So I just moved my stop loss first to break even and to about 0.5. So I just manually exit about somewhere here. I forgot. Let me see. Yeah, I exit somewhere here and then just take 0.5 profit and I move on, right? Very simple. So if it did, I'm not worried less profit I will secure because I'm seeing it from a higher time frame approach. I was seeing a trade to at least hit the top here, at least hit this top here for about almost 5%. So I'm not worried about missing 1% here. Right? I need to hold the trade, give the trade enough room to move to the next target. If I do, to secure some profit and move on, right? So that is in my management plan. That is in my trading plan. Sticking to that is going to be effective for you for the long run. Okay, everyone. So I think I went over all the markets, all four major market. Any questions now, guys? Any questions? I'm happy to answer some questions. Happy to answer some questions, you guys, or any pairs that you missed. I'm fine going over again. That was great. Thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. SFP USDT. is this all the price I can see? I can't really do analysis if I don't see much previous price, right? Yeah, this is not enough for me to give you too much, honestly. This is certainly not enough previous price action to give you any hinters. This just started, or I'm assuming this just happens. So I don't even want to tell you that this is a bullish move to the upside because I don't see that. There's too little data to calculate, okay? So I think someone asked me about OX, ZRX. So we'll talk about ZRX. Zero X crypto. Zero X. Yeah. So I know he's not here near your mic. Hopefully you will hear this. See, this is much more data or more price to develop, right? So to me, this is a long period consolidation, a long period correctional phase. We finally have a surge to the upside. So clearly, we're going to be looking for some sort of continuation. This looks like a continuation that could be developing. Look for a completion of this correction and look for a buy. I think this bullish surge to upside is clean. Waiting for whatever happens here, some sort of consolidation, and then look for the next buy would be ideal. I forgot to talk about equity. I do want to, so I will talk about Tesla for a bit. So Tesla, right? I think a lot of you guys are looking at Tesla. I certainly do Tesla as well. What I want to see is, first of all, can we get a completion of this continuation, right? This is clearly a bullish surge to the upside. We naturally want to be looking for a continuation here. So if you look at how the price has been in the past, right, we have impulse, correction, large impulse, expect a continuation correction here. Where it's not ready, we don't know what's going to form. This can drag on forever, who knows, right? But the whole point is we have to wait for a solid continuation correction here to complete and then look for further upside. Understand that after a strong surge of an impulsive phrase, naturally the market needs to correct, right? And after a strong surge to the market, naturally the market needs to correct before the next surge. Okay, so understand that easily. It will make you understand the market a lot easier. So you don't need to jump the trade. You don't need to rush the trade. All you really need to do is be patient and wait for this correction to complete and literally wait for the next buy. Okay. Is the Asian market new? Not new. I'm more saying the session time, right? This is during the Asia Open now. This is morning of Asia, really. So it's like 8:30 in China, 9:30 in Japan, 10:30 or something in Australia. I don't really remember all the time, but this is the Asia time right now. That's why I say Asia session. But London session, New York session is the same old, right? London session, New York session, Asia session. Those are the three kind of main sessions that we will trade, right? When their stock market opens, it's about the time that we're going through as well. Okay, so Tesla. Anything else I want to touch base on? I think that's it, guys. I think that's it for me. Unless you guys have any more questions to go over, happy to answer a little bit more questions if you guys have. But that is it for me in terms of yeah, too much. Like I said, I'll wrap it up with I am in Kiwi yen. That's one trade I'm in. I was looking at Aussie yen as well, but I am in Kiwi yen now, so I'm not interested in other yens until I at least can set to break even. I think Kiwi Swiss is looking nice. Trade I'm yen, so I didn't want to take two Kiwi trades. I think Kiwi yen here is looking great for that bearish reversal. Kiwi CAD is good. We have this head and shoulder pattern on the higher time frame, and then another head and shoulder within the right shoulder. That's really all the currency pairs that is worthy enough to be on my watch list. Silver and gold, not too much, right? Gold, I mentioned about I want to see at least a completion of the higher time frame structure, right? This lower time frame structure here is not yeah complete. I expect a push to the downside before it up move. Okay. Crypto wise, I went over these, right? All the ones that I have highlighted, I think they're all looking pretty great. Yeah, I think that's about it, guys. If you're new, join me. If you like what I'm doing here, make sure you follow me on my Telegram, YouTube, and things like that. On my YouTube, this is what I do. I post all my streams, all my analysis, everything I talk about in price action. Those of you who are not familiar, it's all here. It explains everything that I talk about in price action. Okay, it's like much easier for you to understand what I mean. Risk management, trading psychology is really important. So I have a bunch of videos in here. But this is where I upload all my educational lessons and videos. It's all here. And I post them in my Telegram, right? In my Telegram, this is all free. You can get all the information on my streams, on my trades analysis, on my sessions, on my videos. Everything is in here, okay? And TradingView, of course, if you're following me on TradingView, this is where I post all my setups, all my analysis, and everything you can catch on here. Go on stream. You go on my profile page. You click stream. This is all the stream that you're going to see from me from the streams that you have been seeing already. Okay, it's all here, and it's the same on YouTube. It's all on YouTube anyways. Okay, so you see all my past live streams. Morning from Malaysia. Nice to see you. Yeah. Do you have Sammy? You can look at my link page to find out more. Okay, I'll open here. I'll post this link here for you to take a look. That will have more on what I do and offer. Uh, okay, so ADA will exceed $1. Likely. Hopefully it does. Right. But I'm fine with taking a. I'm fine with exiting. For profit here. I can look for further upside, but I'm fine with exiting a trade like this with decent profit. I think it's 8.9, so like 9 to 1 or so. I'm already close reaching the profit anyway. So I'm fine with exiting the trade. That's always in my management plan to follow, right? I have a plan to follow. I don't deviate from my plan in any way. Okay. Discord, what's the difference between Discord and Telegram? They're pretty much the same, no? Bullish trend, further continuation, LTC. If you're talking about this as an M style pattern, um, it if you're saying this particular as an M style pattern, I just want to make sure how we approach to the top, right? How we approach. Is this impulsively or is this corrective? There's a big difference in this. When we look at a few M style patterns, um, when we see a few M style patterns, how the price to that M important, right? This is an M style pattern, but you see how the on the M on sorry, when reaching to this M style pattern, it's in a corrective phrase, right? And the larger M style pattern, we're in a corrective phrase. We're not in an impulsive phrase. To me, that's the difference. Okay, to me versus the Litecoin example you're talking about, this to me is impulsive. It's not corrective, and that's why I don't see this as an M style pattern. Any signal I can join which you give. I don't provide signal, I'll be honest, but I do post all my trades. I do post all my trades. I update all my trades always in my Telegram. You might not get it right away when I enter because that's the whole point of me not doing the signal. But I will update my positions. I will update all the trades I'm in, I'm out. I'm transparent like that. I even have my FX book as well to showcase all the trades. I just started this early February. This is the whole point of being transparent, being honest with yourself and with the community, right? So you might not get a signal, but I will post the trades I'm in. or the live positions or whatever. Okay. Yeah. Any other question, guys? Any other question before I wrap this up? Like I said, you can contact me on Telegram. You can contact me in my group chat. I do group chat. Uh, I have a group chat Q&A things. This ties into my main channel, right? So this is what you can do. Ask me questions, and you can see and etc. Okay, so. Yeah, so that's what I do, guys. I try to provide pretty much as much value, info, knowledge to everyone as I can, right? So they're all going to be uploaded to the platforms I just mentioned, right? Either YouTube, Telegram, or TradingView, etc. So as long as you join one of my platforms, you will get all my information and things like that, okay? Anything else? I don't know, some sessions. Thank you, Silky. I appreciate that. I think that's about it. Whoa, what the hell happened? Like I said, I am. You guys see that when I'm scrolling in and out? Oh, maybe that was just me. I was saying that I changed my stream time a little bit. I still do 3 streams a week. I still do 3 streams a week in 3 different sessions. I'm still doing that consistently. I'm just modifying the time or changing the time a little bit. So now it's going to be Sunday or Monday morning London session, Tuesday New York session, and Thursday morning Asia session. I think that's what I'm planning to do. Um, just so that it's still spaced out and I can at least fit 3 streams per week and 3 different session times so I can interact with everybody in different time. I'm fortunate to live in Vancouver where I can really attend all 3 different sessions. Like in my London sessions, that is like 11 o'clock at night for me. In my New York session, that is oops, what happened here? In my New York session, oops, New York, that is 7 o'clock for me. And this Asia session that we're in right now, it's going to start for me in 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So with my time, I actually can do all 3 sessions, which is great. Okay, so I try to do that every week. Oh, do you guys see that on my chart? That yellow thing? EOS, yeah, let's take a look at EOS. So what I see on EOS, really wasn't interesting because there's just a long period consolidation, which is still looking like it is. But this latest bit of surge, at least we break this high. I think it's a good area now to be to pay close attention. Sorry. What I see here is if we zoom out, this is this kind of a previous high area prices reacting to, and we finally have a break above that, right? We break above this area, which is great. So I think continuation here is nice. A continuation correction here would be ideal, but it's not as good as a couple of the crypto that we just talked about. I think a couple of the crypto looks a lot cleaner because this is just beginning of a breakout from all this consolidation. Whereas a couple of the cryptos that we point out, they have been very fiercely moving up, right? So EOS certainly has the potential to move up higher, but I think better to give a little bit more time to develop. Because if we just zoom out here a little bit, we have been trading along at least all this period of time to me is just a period consolidation, right? So this move up, as if we haven't even break above this high, we can just bounce back to the downside, right? So I'm not too interested in this until I see a little bit more clear bullish move from EOS. Okay, and that's why it's not on my watch list. I think there's better crypto ones to be in rather than this one. Hey, Silver Surfer. Hey, dollar catch. Yeah, sure. Let's take a look. I was originally looking for dollar cat buy. Okay, this originally had a structure to like to the upside. I was looking for a continuation to continue, but instead we're kind of falling down now. So I understand that structure can evolve, right? We can see structure like this. So my bias is still potentially along if this kind of moves down correctively to the lows here, and then looking for a potential reversal. Okay, for now, I'm not really seeing that. I see most of the dollar being more bearish. In the beginning of this, we talk about dollar potentially getting more bearish, and I don't really want to speculate on most of the dollar pairs. That's why this remaining of the week, my dollar pairs are not really on my watch list. But dollar cat, if this structure still holds, if we just correctly move down and then potentially reverse, breaking above the structure, continuation to go, then yes, I would be much more interesting. But for now, not too interesting on this one. So yeah, and that's about it. Like I said, three positions. I'm in three. Is it three? Yeah, three. I can't even remember. So three position. I'm in Kiwi Yen, right? Kiwi Yen, the sell here. Mentioned that in the group. Mentioned the entry here. Two additional crypto. I'm in Cardano, so I'm about to take profit here. Our Cardano. Whoa, what happened? Well, do you guys see that? The charts like that? So weird. Um, like I said, moving, looking to take profit. I'm still looking to hold. Reason for dollar falling. Mm, I want to say because of the surge of crypto. To be honest, obviously this is some macro fundamental stuff, so don't call me on it. I think it's because of the surge of all the crypto now, right? We're seeing a huge surge of crypto. Most of the cryptos are buying. So companies are not putting their money in dollars anymore. They're putting their money in cryptocurrency, right? You think Tesla is the only one? I'm sure there's going to be bigger firms, bigger corporation, to be putting their money into crypto, right? So who has a lot of cash on their hand? Well, a lot of bigger corporation. Tesla is one of them, great. But what about Microsoft? What about Apple? What about Google? What about Amazon? Those companies have millions, if not billions, of cash, right? Cash meaning actual cash, disposable cash, right? So where are they gonna put all their cash, right? They can invest in crypto. They can accept crypto now, right? That's what Tesla is planning to do. Why do they buy a lot of crypto? Because why do they buy a lot of Bitcoin? Because they want to start accepting Bitcoin as a purchase, right? So they need to have Bitcoin on themselves in order to buy and sell. So why don't you think other companies, other bigger corporation would do the same? So that's kind of what I see, to be honest, on why the dollar is falling. Dollar hasn't been strong, right? So dollar has been tanking, to be honest. If we just zoom out here on dollar, dollar has been tanking, right? And I mentioned this is kind of the key area where we do want to make sure keep an eye on the dollar pair is, yes, we're looking like we're looking to continue, but if we just continue down very correctively to this low, it can break the low. It really doesn't matter. But if it's going to have a lower time frame reversal, then this can be a turning point. But if it does not, if it just start bearishly break out before the previous low and then continue with the lower time frame continuation, then dollar is certainly going to continue to drop, right? From a technical perspective. So can I wonder if I can invest on auto. I don't. My whole point of doing everything here is so people can learn and trade themselves, right? I'm not here to do signals. I'm not here to provide any money management, anything like that. I'm here to help people to trade because at the end of the day, if a trader cannot trade, then they're relying on. So what if then that person is back to square one, right? So silver, to me, I'm looking for silver long term. I know you're a silver guy, so This is what I see on silver, right? I made a post here somewhere here, I think. Ultimately, I am seeing silver will incline or at least push up in time. Um, my approach is the same. My approach is simple, right? Like seeing what how low has the price has been, right? We have a few swing lows. This can classify as a double bottom or triple bottom. The whole point is it's not going lower, right? Because of inflation, price has been much lower before, but we just cannot see silver going lower because it doesn't make sense to make silver anymore if there's no all the production costs, all the overhead costs associated with it. That's my opinion on the fundamental part, but on the technical aspect, all this period of time is a consolidation phase. We drop down all this time, but if we look closely, starting from 2014, we have a reversal structure, we push up, another continuation, we push up again, continuation. If there's no COVID, this is bound to push up. From this continuation, this is exactly what happens is we have a bullish impulse to the upside. This can be a bullish continuation correction, and we're going to see further upside. Okay, but obviously this takes years to complete, right? We understand higher time frame perspective. So I would wait for open here in this last bit of a correction. This can move down once more, preferably, and then I will be looking for a reversal buy, or this just breaks up and then followed by continuation. It's the same. At least we have a few swing highs and a few swing lows. Preferably is one more move to the down before the up move. Okay, so that's what I see on silver. Okay, so actually, Silver Surfer is a streamer too, guys. Make sure you guys check out his streams as well. He has some interesting points. I watched some of his streams as well, so make sure you guys watch him as well. Any other question, guys? I think that's it. Been talking an hour and 45 minutes, so I touched base on all those markets. Like I said, not too much on my watch list, just a few ones and a few trades that I'm in. I will do a weekly trade recap video to summarize all the trade I took this week. Okay, so four trades that were in there. These are the three trades that I'm still in. So Bitcoin, Cardano, and Kiwi Yen I'm in, and I got a dollar yen for 0.5 profit. Okay. So that is it. What is your idea on Doge? Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up with Doge. So Doge, look for continuation, right? It's pretty clear that we're going to get that. We have this previous high that the price pushed up to. This was the initial surge, right? We decline, um, and then but price back into that bullish trend now, right? Impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse, and looking for a continuation correction here. Great, that's kind of what I was expecting, and look for a break above this correction, right? Look for a break above this current structure and then continue upwards. Right? You just have to understand when price form these continuation, it's already telling you a sign that we're going to continue, right? That's why it's continuation of a correction structure. So no, that's fine, Joe. I'm just telling you I don't I'm just trying to help traders to be better, right? I'm just saying following signals will not make a trader better. I'm sure a lot of people hate me to say that, but honestly, following signal is not going to help you. What if that signal provider tomorrow charges you $10,000? Are you going to pay $10,000 to buy their signal, let's say tomorrow they no longer offer you signal? Have you learned anything by paying them signal? Not much, right? So it's about learning how to trade, not just copying trades, right? But human beings, I'm sorry to say, we are lazy, right? We are lazy animals. We're just thinking, oh, if I just copy someone to trade, I'm going to make profit. Oh, that's easy. I don't need to learn all this. But what ends up happening is they have no idea why they enter a trade, how to manage a trade, how to exit the trade. All they do is they think they're following someone, but when they put in their real life money, when the trade is losing, they don't know how to hold the trade. They have no idea how the management would be, and they will blindly enter or exit the trade. And they're pretty much not even following that signal provider anymore. They're just trying to chase back the money they lost and end up just randomly clicking buttons, right? It's like flipping a coin, right? So understanding gambling and trading is two different things, right? Don't fall into the gambling aspect of trading. Where to check your history? What does that mean? You can check my ideas here. I've been posting for like 5 years on here, so you can check. You just keep scrolling down to the front if you want. I just started an FX book on February this. Okay, so this is for all Forex indices commodities only. Okay, so you can check on there. I don't know what else. You can go on my Telegram. You scroll all the way up. You see all my posts. YouTube. I started YouTube last year in July, so you can keep more interesting. So automation for my trend line. No, I don't. I don't even know what you mean by automation of trend lines. I just draw them the way how they are. Okay, everyone. So I think that is it. I think that is it. So no other question to the market or anything. So I'm fine exiting. I'm fine closing the stream here. Like I said, I will do another stream. Next, I will do 3 streams a week, 3 streams in different sessions. So, if you like that, make sure you follow me on Telegram or TradingView or whatever, so you can get the links to the streams. Okay, I do them 3 times a week, 3 different sessions. I've been doing that consistently since last year in July or something like that. So, my plan is to continuously do that indefinitely. So make sure you catch those if you're interested. All right. So thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you guys watching the stream, and I hope to catch you guys next time. Like I said, I will do a weekly trade recap video on the weekend, and I will do a weekly trading outlook stream on Sunday night or Monday morning as well, depending what time you're in. So make sure you watch that as well for the week ahead. And hope everyone have a great week, great weekend, wherever you guys are. So good morning, good evening, good afternoon you guys, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the week. All right. Thank you very much, guys.